All right,
Hi,
so
folks. Welcome to Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark. Uh, we're two idiots who love talking about things we have no idea what we're talking about. As you might have heard from the behind the scenes 5 minute candid nude audio that you just heard, I'm your co host, Harry. This is my wonderful co host, Mark.
hello.
Yep. And yeah, fucking hit the ground running, huh, Bear?
Yeah, always.
But you know
How
what?
we
I'm
do it?
gonna pretend like we weren't just talking about crypto and
Mm-hmm.
NFTs and I think horizontal mergers. I'm mad, Harry. You want to know why I'm mad?
Tell me why you're mad.
Can't see my forehead.
I saw it coming, and it still got me.
No. So this is gonna be brief. Talk about my week, and then we'll go into you, and then back to
Yep.
actually talking about the week. So my wonderful big booty GF uh started watching Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. Okay.
Yeah, a classic, like 1980s, four old older ladies kind of rooming together, kind of dealing with life and getting older and that kind of thing. Fucking second season, 1986, and they have their first openly gay character. One episode, but still one episode. I can't for the life of me fucking think of an episode in Star Trek in the 80s or the 90s that had an openly gay character. I get that we had a trans allegory, a messy, mixed trans allegory, and some implied lesbian stuff, but like nothing open.
Yeah.
Nothing open, I believe, until Star Trek Discovery, when fucking Hugh Colbert and Stamets were together, just just locking lips.
Mm.
And it pisses me off that fucking 3.5 old ass women have a show in 1986 where they talk about like being gay and lesbian and whatnot openly. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Fucked up.
You fucked up, Star Trek.
Really did. They had
Anyway,
one job.
I know they really did. God, it reminds me of the one episode when the Domino people, I can't fucking remember their names, 1969, fucking there were these two characters,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them was black and white on one, like, black on one side, white on the other side, and the other one was white on one side, black on the other side, and they're both fighting, and like to the crew, it's completely minuscule and mundane and trivial, like the distinction, but to the two fighting, it's like so like important. And fucking Star Trek has the nerve to be like, you're both wrong.
Wow.
God. When like obviously one of the characters like, yeah, I've been enslaved and I can't let go of my hate. And the other one's like, I'm an enslaver and he's inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And like obviously they're like, oh yes, it's a meditation on race and all that. But then they're like, yeah, see, it's both your faults that you're fighting. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. You had one job, Star Trek. God damn it. Anyway, Harry,
Yes.
as you no doubt from your backhanded and Weasley recording, we'll be talking. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We'll be talking about vaguely and loosely some NFT stuff.
Yep.
We'll be talking about some corporate buyouts.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be discussing a couple shows and all of the like. But first, Harry,
Yeah.
how was your week?
My week.
How were your last 2 weeks?
Oh, that's right. 2 weeks. My weeks. We're okay. Busy. Um,
Hmm.
busy with work and stuff. So, but other than that, pretty good. Um, I don't remember what I did, but I did stuff.
Hey Harry,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. I think fuck. We played games. We played some games. We got
Fuck
back into
yeah.
Minecraft.
I've never played it before,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
it's a game.
it's a game.
Yeah. That's
It's fun. I mean, I'm at the point where it's like if I play something on my own, I have to be really invested in wanting to play it.
yeah.
Like, Deathloop, anything arcane, some
Right, right,
like
right.
nostalgic shit, or like just something that I think is enjoyable.
Mhm.
But other than that, most of the time, it's usually just something I'm playing with you guys,
Yeah.
and the idea of playing it with friends, if it's not something that I'm like immediately down to play, right?
Yeah.
I'm still down to play just because it's like, hey, the social experience with El Frienderinos makes it so much better.
Very true. I agree. I'm also probably in the same boat where I'm kind of like meh about Minecraft, but playing with friends, it's fun.
Yeah, we're making a sex
Um,
dungeon for our friend.
yes, we
Hats
are.
off to you, Yvette. I don't know how we're gonna get like bondage gear in there, but so help me God.
um, but that's it. We some Minecraft, a lot of work, a lot of. Oh, I just remembered. I remembered. I watched
Oh,
a movie I haven't seen before. It is called Girl Interrupted.
ooh,
Yeah,
Harry, you
yeah,
connoisseur, you.
yeah. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a good movie. Um, um, some stuff caught me off guard. But it was good. I liked it. And what I mean by off guard is just like I didn't really know what the movie was about, so I was just like, oh, 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 oh. You know,
Yeah.
it was a good movie though. I liked the outcome. I liked the story and everything. So, it's one of those that like if you have the time, you just want to sit down and watch a movie. I'd recommend it if it's free, like it
It
is
is
on
fun.
Netflix right now. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It was different. I rewatched I Love You Man because it's a good movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, instead of finishing Arcane or starting Boba Fett or anything, I rewatched I Love You Man.
To be fair,
No,
you're completely fine. Completely. I'm not. I am not upset at all, and I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, mean that
thank you.
because. Never mind. Keep talking.
But that's really been the week for me. Um, but what topic do you want to talk about? We got.
What the fuck? I didn't talk about my week. I
I
I
thought I
mentioned.
swear I thought you talked about your week.
I preambled
Oh shit.
Golden Girls. God damn it!
My bad. I thought that was literally your
Thank you for
week.
being a friend.
I'm guessing that's the intro song.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh
I'm gonna make
god.
that the intro song for this too.
Eh, dude, that'd be fucking kick ass. We need to figure out an intro song.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh that'd be good.
Uh-huh.
I'll
Uh-huh.
think of something. You watch
Yeah.
me.
Oh, I believe
Any
you.
fucking way. Okay. So hats off to fucking Girl Interrupted.
Yes.
Um, God, it's such a great cast. I think isn't Jared Leto in that too?
Liv is Jared Leto. Yes.
Man, I'm not a Jared Leto fan. I just like keep forgetting how fucking far back his like Winona Ryder, obviously, fucking
Right.
late great Brittany Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
fucking I think
Angelina
it's
Jolie.
yeah, like of course all them Whoopi Goldberg, but
Yep.
like fucking Joker,
Mm-hmm.
Joker. Anyway, um, so been watching fucking Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, been watching that, and then I've been watching Book of Boba Fett, but better.
Mm.
on HBO Max called Peacemaker.
Oh, that's out.
It is absolutely out, and I fucking love it. It is so good. I'm like I was thinking of what I wanted to say about it,
Yeah.
and I just think, you know what? I'm gonna wait until Harry gives it a watch because I know that might tickle his rectum a little more than Tome of the Bounty Hunter. So yeah, I didn't think for a moment when it first came out that like it would be that great. I honestly
Yeah.
gave it like the shrug, the shrug, right?
The shrug. Yeah.
We got this fucking another superhero spinoff, and it's got fucking John Cena in it, and I
Mm.
give John Cena credit for the Suicide Squad, but I was like, there's no way he'll be able to like keep that going, right?
Right.
And I got to be honest, this is the best performance I've ever fucking seen him in.
Huh.
Like, I don't think much of John Cena, but like there is there are a handful of fantastic like shots of just him doing acting.
Mm.
Oh, my girlfriend came in to tell me while she was watching The Golden Girls, by the way,
Yeah.
of a interracial group, and she's rubbing it in my face that it's more advanced than Star Trek. So I'm not fucking mad.
Oof.
Fucking
Star Trek
whatever.
had one
Anyway,
job.
yeah, yeah, whatever. So yeah, Peacemaker, fun, funny as fuck, violent, uh,
Oh.
a lot more fucking, a lot more character driven than I thought it would have been. I honestly, they have Boba Fett and this kind of have similar plot beats, but I
Uh
think
huh.
what bothers me about Boba Fett is like nothing happens.
Oh.
Like things happen, like plot beats, like ah, I stubbed my toe. Oh god, no, I got stabbed. Oh no. But like almost all of the show is filled with like character development for Peacemaker. It's so
Yeah.
goddamn enjoyable. Anyway,
Okay.
heartbreaking stuff, really interesting character. Didn't think I'd like John Cena or the character,
Yeah.
but I think John Cena actually really elevates the part. Just like this
Hmm.
big fucking idiot
Yeah.
who not really like is on a path of redemption, but like we kind of get an inside look as to who he is, what drives him, the things that made him who he is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, um I said a couple weeks ago that I started reading um A Storm of Swords. I've actually started reading it. Um it's fucking good. Uh I'm on Tyrion now. Tyrion and Jamie, I think, are two of my favorite characters at the moment. Um so Storm of Swords follows the third and fourth season, and I'm really looking forward to like the stuff with Brienne and Jamie, just to kind of
Okay.
like read that because I think the sauna scene in season three when Jamie and Brienne are kind of like, or at least Jamie is kind of confiding to Brienne about his reasons for killing the Mad King
Yeah.
are really fucking powerful shit. That's
Mm-hmm.
really good shit right there. Like uh damn good television, damn good acting, plain
Mm-hmm.
and simple. And I'm really looking forward to reading that. Um, Tyrion is in a real low point as he is in the show, stripped of his title, stripped of all his power, stripped of any like friends and whatnot. Um, yeah, so looking forward to putting a couple pages into that tonight. Um, I managed to digest a show on Netflix called Archive 81. I'm
Mm.
typically not like everyone has like the Netflix top 10 that like
Yeah.
comes in every other month, right? Where it's like, oh, the here's the thing that everyone's like dropping their panties for.
Yeah.
Like I was gushing about Arcane like 3 months ago. Uh, Archive 81 is the story of like a professional museum, like restorer. I don't know how to what the job title is. He restores VHSs and like cassettes. And
Interesting. Like,
yes,
wait, like
and
Jack Black and Mos Def and Be
yeah,
Kind
Be Kind
Rewind.
Rewind.
Good shit.
Um, except Jack Black destroys those videos.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they sweeted them. This guy restores like damaged versions. He's hired by some shady company, taken out in the middle of the boonies in upstate New York to restore some found footage
Oh.
of a woman in 1994 who's doing like a cultural anthropology college dissertation thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a cover to find her mother who said like, hey, come find me in this building. You find out that like there's some crazy things happening. A little bit of like demonic cult worship and whatnot. Um, it's fun.
Okay.
The modern day stuff follows the one guy and his goofy friend as they kind of try to investigate the past and the history of what's going on, while the past found footage stuff, which is partially not found footage, it's contextualized to the guy watching it, and then it'll kind of just be like, oh, so we're just following the story without the found footage stuff. Her investigating the building, kind of figuring out what's going on,
Yeah.
and digging further and further back into the history. Fun stuff. Um, Creepy. There are like two or three violent parts. I honestly expected them to go way more like The Omen with it, way more bloody and violent. It's
Mm.
just kind of creepy.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So fun stuff. I do recommend it because it's got a nice Ah, what sells it for me is some like the found footage stuff, because they'll
Yeah.
have like scenes and shots of old New York, or old
Oh.
New York in the 90s, and they play off of like old 20s, 30s, 40s cameras too every so often. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big stickler for like movies within movies, or like uh old footage. And I think this is the first movie. No, that's not true. I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to be like, oh well, last week I lied. This is one of those movies where they're like, oh, it's a show or a movie that has a found footage movie in it,
Mm.
which is interesting. I don't think I've, if I thought about it, I'm sure I could, but I think this is the first time I've seen a show about investigating found footage. You know how it's usually like the story is the beginning, oh, we found this found footage, we didn't find anyone next to it or something, and then it's the found footage, and then the end is like, we couldn't find any survivors, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting that the framing device is this guy restoring found footage. It would kind of be like, in any one of these found footage stories, it would be like the person happening across like the Blair Witch cam recorder, or
Right.
the military dude who finds the footage from Cloverfield, or uh, any one of the demon people cleanup crew fuckers who finds the camcorders, or the home security and
Right.
paranormal activity. But yeah, interesting stuff. Main actor's pretty good. um, I'm wondering if they'll do a sequel or a follow-up season, because they definitely left some room for more. Uh, what else, sir? What else? Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Not much else. I played the usual stuff with you guys. Like I said, I'm not a big Minecraft guy, but I'll never say no to like an enjoyable game, from my opinion, that you can play with other people. Oh, I have one final thing, and then we will get to topics.
Okay.
I uh, I found a movie
Oh.
to get my girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
into the Coen brothers. Um, so a little while ago, I showed Stace Intolerable Cruelty, where George Clooney plays a divorce attorney,
Mm.
and he helps. Uh, he's like the best in the game, and he comes across Catherine Zeta-Jones, who's looking to divorce her very rich husband for his money, and this fun, wacky comedy con thing goes along with it. Uh, and she enjoyed it. She thought it was fine, but she enjoyed it. And then I showed her "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" with George Clooney uh, and the gang,
Mhm.
John Goodman, and a couple others. She liked that; it was pretty good. But I showed her one of my favorite uh, Coen Brothers films, or Coen film, which was The Hudsucker Proxy.
Bloodsucker Proxy. I've never seen it.
It's I don't think it's one of their best, but I enjoy it. It's
Mhm.
about a it's about an Indianan who comes to the Big Apple to become like a business guy, right?
Mhm.
And he falls into the unwitting clutches, or he unwittingly falls into the clutches of a a board a board and a CFO, I think, who want to uh, prevent their company from being sold publicly. So they hire him as the proxy to their company
Mm.
to, to inflate the stock, to depress the stock, and all this
Yeah.
other shit. Not spoiling anything. That's the main, like, the first 4 minutes of the story is that's what it's about. Um, there is a there is a beautiful surreal quality to the movie that I love. I
Mhm.
um I think at one point I wanted to be like a movie guy, right? Like an actual movie guy. And I always told myself I'd really like to make very not I don't want to say realistic movies, but I wanted to make, uh like natural colors, natural lighting. I wanted everything to feel like nail biting and real and toned down and very down to earth, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, 1 to 1, right? Like nothing too over the top. Like I wanted it to feel at least real. Like I don't like using that term when it comes to movies, but real. I
Okay.
keep reminding myself that whenever I see the Hudsucker Proxy, and it's this surreal kind of movie, it has an almost whimsical and fantastical quality to it. It's set in New York, it's set in a specific time, but it doesn't quite feel real, right?
Yeah.
I keep reminding myself whenever I see this movie that, like, maybe I do want to change. If I ever did get into film, like actually making films, I would love actually to use the medium in like a hyper stylized kind of way, right? Like uh to use the medium to its fullest.
Mm.
I don't know. It's just I don't think it's the greatest film. I don't even. It's not even one of my favorite films. I do love it though, genuinely. But it's a movie that reminds me that you can always take film and stretch it in all these very malleable ways. It's not a defined sharp little cube. It's like it's a putty or a beautiful paint that you can put any kind of color into, and you can put on a canvas or paint it onto something, and it's not just, you know like the Bourne series where it has to be real and shaky cam and all this other stuff. It can be still and solemn and and beautiful. I don't know. I'm probably going all crazy with how I'm talking about it. It's just, long story short, I see the Hudsucker Proxy. It reminds me, or it reminds me that I can experiment if I wanted to get into stuff like that, right? Where it doesn't just have to be plain because that's how I think it should be. It's that it can be more. it can be beautiful in unrealistic ways or, fantastical ways that don't always necessarily make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I recommend to anyone who's watched it. And long story short, I showed Stace the movie, and she fucking loved it. So I'm glad she loved it. Great fucking movie. To anyone who's interested, I recommend it. Yeah. So that's my couple weeks.
Nice. Very productive.
Damn straight.
Um, since we're talking about movies, let's get the probably least
Entree
talking.
song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Was
talk
that
about some
Godzilla?
Godzilla. Yeah.
Damn straight. So apparently, no, that's bad. I'm sorry. Godzilla is going to be adapted into a series by Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
From CB Comic Book, Godzilla is the king of the monsters, and now he shall soon take over Apple TV subscribers. A new report has gone live today confirming that MonsterVerse's big move to television. Deadlines confirmed a live action TV series is in the works for Godzilla and will help expand Godzilla's domain into a unique way.
I think
Ooh.
it's good. I mean, I think this is uh this is just a start. I think we've already seen it with I mean, Peacemaker is a good example of
Mhm.
basically what Marvel has been doing with their TV series. Um, like I think they explained it right there perfectly to expand Godzilla's domain. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of monsters in the Godzilla monsterverse, right? Um, uh, a TV series would make sense. Um,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Oh, actually, I don't know. Apple TV. I don't have that. Um,
You know what? I've
hmm,
been meaning to get it. I want to see Macbeth, which is another fucking example of heightened surrealism, like with
mm-hmm.
fucking Hudsucker Proxy. But I want to do that so I can review the Foundation too.
Oh, okay.
Fuck
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I'm just more excited because there are a lot of things that come out in theaters that our biggest complaint is that there's not enough time for a movie to be or for a story to be only 2.5 hours like for a
Hmm.
movie where a series would be best. I think we've had a lot of those movies that we've seen, right, where we're like, man, they should have done a series. I think a movie's not long enough. um I think I feel like a lot of I don't know, producers or whatever, people who make movies
Uh huh.
or at least story makers are like a TV series only, like basically what people expect for TV series is basically for it to run for a very long time. Um
Syndication.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not just a one season and that's it. Like your expectation is to be multiple seasons and to continue if it goes well, and the whole thing about a TV series is you want it to go well so you can keep going. You don't want it to end because that's your job, right? Your job is that
Yeah.
show. Um but at the same time, especially after Marvel and how successful WandaVision, um, as much as uh, uh, Captain America and Winter Soldier was a little, or Falcon and Winter Soldier was a little weird, but it still was
Yeah.
successful. Loki, like all these series coming out for Marvel have been really good. Uh, like yeah, they have like
Yeah.
a
People have been receptive to the TV series format for Marvel.
yes, and I feel like Peacemaker is was made because of it. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sure,
Oh yeah.
like obviously, and you're saying it's good, so I'm not doubting that. I'm sure it's good because again, you can do so much more with multiple episodes, uh, compared to like only 2.5 hours.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I think when there's something as massive as like a comic book world, a monster verse, with all the monsters that are in the Godzilla world. And I'm sure there's plenty of other things that are out there that I'm not thinking of on top of my head that a TV series would probably be a better idea than making a movie, or like, again, it it's crazy what Marvel has been doing and how successful they've been, and basically pioneering what the future of making a universe, you know,
Hmm.
what you do with it. Like, it's not just movies and movies that go together, but TV series now. And it makes sense, right? You have a TV series here, TV series there, and then you have a movie here, movie there, and then you kind of blended together. It's you need a
Hmm.
mixture of both, and Marvel has been doing a great fucking job doing it. Um, and I'm stoked for um the future. I
Oh yeah.
know, I know, like Godzilla TV series, like it's cool, dude. I'm down to watch it. I grew up watching the original Godzilla movies, so I'm hella down for it. But I think the biggest thing, I guess, the biggest takeaway from this is that other uh other what would you call them, people, I don't know, producers, directors,
Hmm.
the those people who make things uh are seeing that it's not just a movie thing, it's not just a TV series that you want it to run for like 15 seasons. It's just a one season thing is good. And I think it, having a streaming platform like, Marvel has Disney Plus, Godzilla's going to Apple TV, and then,
Hmm.
DC has HBO Max. Um, you're not like, oh, I need multiple seasons of this show. It's like, no,
Right.
you really only need one, and that's it, and it's going to be a good one because we're not forced into making multiple seasons. We're not forced into
Right.
extending a story that is probably only meant for a season, right? Um, I mean, I can go on and on about how I prefer short series, or short seasoned series. Like whether it's 1, 2, or 3 seasons, and it ends that way because that's how it's supposed to end, not because it got canceled, but because that's how they wanted it to end.
Yeah.
Um, and those are like the best ones. And I think, yeah, a lot of Hollywood people are figuring out that it works.
Yeah.
When you're not forcing things, it works. Like you're
Hmm.
just trying to tell a story. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. Again, like I
Perry,
said,
I'm proud of you. You know that?
thank you. Yeah.
You at one point you were like, I don't know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
Mm-hmm.
like how you feel, and you're like, you do it so better. And I'm like, no, I don't. Just talk about how you feel. That's all it is. And you fucking ran with it, and you've been doing a great job. I'm so
Thank you.
proud of you. I
Yeah.
do agree with what you're saying. Apparently, so 10 episodes now is the changed syndication format. You no longer need like a million fucking seasons
Yeah.
and 50 something episodes. Um, I would honestly like to see a 3-part
Mm.
series, or like a 3-season series of this.
Okay.
Um, so one of the problems that I tend to have nowadays with something like Star Trek is I feel like they pick a disaster of the week and they make it
Mm-hmm.
into 10 episodes. And the problem with that is it takes too damn long to
Mm-hmm.
get to solving the disaster, and it takes too damn short getting to know your characters and kind of
Yeah.
having downtime and time to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's just Star Trek probably having its growing pains with the new medium.
Yeah.
But I think something like this would be pretty good. I would really like a maybe not a three-parter, a two-parter or whatever parter. But I'd
Yeah.
like so from the sound of it, it looks like they say a family existing in a world of titans dealing with monarch and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. I would
Mhm.
like to see that. I've had my gripes with American Godzilla IP because I mean, to American audiences, Godzilla's nothing more than a kaiju, and there's typically more to him to Japanese audiences. Maybe for some reason, I can't think of any.
Mhm.
Um, but besides that, it's like talking to someone who loved the 1998 Godzilla, right? Because I was a kid. I had that phase where
Dude,
no
it's
one
so
said they liked it.
underrated.
I fucking love it. Like, it's bad. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
but dude, it's
But
so
it's like,
fucking good.
right? Like, Zilla's awful, but like, it's New York. It's a great fucking shot of New York and all that. You got fucking choppers trying to shoot it. You got fucking submarines.
So
And you
good.
got baby T Rexes just fucking chilling in Madison Square Garden. Like, this is Roland Emmerich, I think, at his fucking, like, funnest.
Yeah.
Like, he did in the 90s, he did fucking Stargate, and then he did fucking Independence Day. And then he was like, man, how can I fucking top how can I top fucking Independence Day? Oh, and speaking of Emmerich, he's coming out with that fucking moon or what is it, the moon movie where it's like
Oh,
the
when it's
moon is
falling?
hollow and it's crashing. Yeah, that's him.
That's
He's
amazing.
literally just the disaster filmmaker now, where it's like anything he does is just disaster. Oh no, fucking great, because that's what I wanted to talk about.
Good.
I don't
Talk about it.
care for Roland Emmerich because I don't like I find some of his writing, or at least the people that he brings on, like really cheesy, but not in, like, the good way. But
Mhm.
he tends to do this thing in almost all of his more current films where
Yeah.
there's like the scientist, the everyday guy, and then like the military or government person,
Mhm.
right? So they had that with Independence Day. You had the president, you had the Will Smith, and then you had the Fly, right?
Yeah.
And then in 2012, you had uh, John Cusack. You had Chitel Ejiofor, great performance actor. I fucking sorry, I can't pronounce his name.
Fun.
And then you have I don't fucking know, whatever. But he typically has like a family aspect and like a couple other things. That would be really cool for uh this Godzilla show.
Yeah.
I think you and I talked about a while ago, like 2014 Godzilla was really fun, but
Yes.
um, you and I didn't really care for the fact that they kind of just threw Bryan Cranston in there for just getting, asses in seats,
Yep.
and the whole family thing, like why he's like constantly like why Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is just constantly in danger for no reason. And you and I came up, I think, with the idea of the main character being like a journalist, like
Mhm.
um, taking like a World War Z style approach to it, where he happens to be in the first initial issue with the kaiju or whatever. He's in
Yeah.
Japan or something. He's investigating, and he stumbles across what happens, and then he follows the kaiju because he has a reason to go after it, and you just take out the fucking family bit. Um, I think that would be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So instead of it being like, oh, I'm a researcher and I'm doing something or whatever, you have a reporter who is like, ah, man. Now that I'm thinking about it, fucking Godzilla versus Kong would have been really interesting if you just got rid of Millie Bobby Brown. No offense to her,
Yeah.
not because I don't like her. I just don't think that worked for me personally. And the whole like the quasi Transformers cast, like the potty mouth or like the weird dynamic teenagers with like the one adult.
Mhm.
I would have just gone with like someone investigating Godzilla because like, oh shit, Godzilla's on like a different pattern than he usually is. This doesn't make any sense. Investigate, investigate, investigate.
Mhm.
Because I don't think the human aspect behind most of these movies is pretty good, and I know everyone really, really just wants to see Godzilla,
Right.
but I'm really not one of those people. Like, I like Godzilla, like when he shoot fire breath into other side of planet and it almost hit Kong, that cool. Yeah? But like every time I read in like a Transformers movie article or like some other fucking CGI laden monster battle that oh we're just gonna focus more on like what people want, the kaiju. I don't that doesn't like entertain me because it's like I always find some of that stuff a little disappointing. I really
Mhm.
want a compelling human thing. Like and I don't think the family thing is necessarily like a family is like the cheapest possible fucking way to elicit like concern or care. Like they're a family, the dynamic is already established. You get thrown some trauma there, and you're like, oh look, I already fucking feel for that person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested. I just want to see like I don't know. I want to see where they go with it because I don't the 10 episode back to the point. The 10 episode format tends to lend itself to like one long story, right? How I
Mhm.
was talking about with Star Trek.
Yep.
Thankfully, you know, it's not tethered in the same way that Star Trek is, so you could probably not have to you wouldn't have my same criticisms.
Mhm.
But it's like you are going to be following a family or you're going to be following a group of people, and I really want them to be kind of the cornerstone of the show, right? Not like
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like, okay, let's get to the Godzilla stuff, which I can't believe I was actually fucking saying in Godzilla versus Kong. Like I don't normally say that. So I'm interested. I am. I know
Yeah.
I always sound apprehensive, but like who doesn't fucking love seeing their favorite kaiju on the small screen and whatnot? Um
Mhm. Mhm.
I'd love it if they kept the same kind of universe as what they've been building. They use Skull Island for like all their new kaiju.
Mhm.
Oh man, that'd be fun. You had like Mothra and Rodan interacting with, or not even fucking Rodan, but like Mothra and Kong or Anguirus. All of like the not I breathe on anything and kill millions of people kind of kaiju just interacting. You know,
Yeah.
that would be fun. I like. I'm not opposed to just big CGI monsters for like a huge portion of the time. I just like it tends to make my eyes glaze over a little bit, especially when it's like there's nothing really interesting going on with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am excited. I want to see more. Um, at the moment, the Lord of the Rings or the Silmarillion show, I think, has that interest for me at the moment. But until I see
Yeah.
something for this, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Fair enough.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what the future holds for us. Um. Did you want to move on to the next topic?
Fuck yeah. You
All right.
next topic me.
Next topic. We got. We're a little late, but it's fine. We'll talk about it. Microsoft acquires Activision. Um,
Fuck you, Bobby Kotick.
yeah,
No,
big
I'm just
deal.
kidding. I don't know. Yeah.
Big fucking deal.
Microsoft, I believe, is now the third or fourth largest gaming company in the world.
Yeah, they are fucking huge. So basically, they acquired obviously Blizzard. They acquired um so apparently the Activision has a huge mobile sector under Candy Crush. Um,
I did not know that.
yeah, apparently. So a lot of people are speculating that's where Microsoft is heading. Obviously, Activision with Blizzard and Call of Duty and all these other massive fucking games um, is something to speculate and all this other stuff. But um, like what was it? Call of Duty
Hmm.
specified that they will be for sure multi-platform
Right.
until 2024, 2025.
They've
So
mentioned, yeah, keeping it. I think some kind of conditional basis or some kind of case by case basis.
yeah.
So instead of most of the Bethesda stuff like or ZeniMax stuff like the Elder Scrolls probably going to be an
Mhm,
Xbox exclusive,
yeah.
something like Call of Duty is going to be multi-platform.
Yeah. Um and the thing about, for example, Elder Scrolls, because it is a big title. It's not
Oh
a
yeah.
small title. Same thing with Fallout. That obviously is under that too. Um to make it an exclusive, um
Just
I
stray from the
it's
dog.
it's it's not gonna go well. There's gonna be a lot of hate going to obviously Bethesda first because they
Mhm.
are the main name, but to Microsoft because as much as like I'm sure they're gonna release it on PC as well, but it's like some people just don't want Xbox.
Yeah, I
Uh,
wonder what.
especially like if you think of like outside of America, I feel like there's a lot of people who don't own Xboxes outside of America. Like I'm sure there is, but I'm just like I think Japan is heavily Nintendo and PlayStation. Um, I think other areas too. Um, I would have to look that up. Um, th- we're not here for facts and statistics. That's not what we're here for.
I would fucking love to be, but I'm
Yeah.
too stupid.
um, but I just I think it would be bad. Something like you said, Call of Duty would be a big thing. Like I'm reading here in the article, it says uh the biggest series in the world, including Call of Duty, Warcraft, and Overwatch. I mean, there's gonna be an Overwatch 2 coming out, and
Soon.
uh, World of Warcraft. It's a fucking game that's been out for a long time, and it has a
Mm.
massive player base. So yes, they do. If they exclusify any of this stuff, um, I don't know what they could do with Warcraft. Warcraft is has been a PC only game. Uh, I don't know how they would adapt it to Xbox. Um,
Well, I do believe that Microsoft has been expanding into like PC games as well too.
well, it's not that hard
So
for them, right? Because
yeah,
it's Microsoft. You know what I mean?
I would imagine what's going to happen too is the internal politics of Activision is probably going to be uprooted quite a bit, but the overall like development process is probably not going to change. I
Yeah.
honestly I don't believe Microsoft has a history of crunch uh, at their offices or
Mm-hmm.
their subsidiary offices, so
Yeah.
that's always a plus. Um, like we were saying before, this is a I don't want to say a fairly innocent one, but it doesn't seem like there are any immediately noticeably. I mean, other than like at the fact that it's a fucking monopoly, which
Right.
yes is bad. There aren't any readily noticeable terrible things that we can see. Like it's not like it's not like Microsoft has any shite qualities that it's going to probably project onto Activision. If anything, Kodak is probably going to get bought out and kicked out. Uh, so there's that.
Yeah.
Um, and I would imagine that the business model or like the game development model is probably going to take on the Microsoft kind of way. When apparently they have given a lot of freedom to some of their developers, so that is a plus. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that being said, Monopoly, still.
Yeah.
But I do agree, as long as they're uh, developing kind of outward. Hold on,
Right.
wait. Let me rephrase that. They are developing outward. They're starting to develop more PC friendly games, or since now they have Blizzard, they now have a solid PC foundation as well,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Overwatch, World of Warcraft, what League of Legends?
No, that's Riot.
No,
That's separate. Yeah.
right? Okay.
But
Sorry.
no, no, no,
We're all
but
fucked up here.
you're you're right. Like but one thing that I was thinking about, like kind of like what they did with Minecraft. All they really did is put it on their store,
Yeah,
and I think that is something that they most likely will do. I mean, hey, you want to play World of Warcraft? You got to download it from the Microsoft store. Hey, you want to
yeah,
play Call of Duty? You got to do it from the Microsoft store. Like,
yep.
I think it's purely just we're gonna make money off of you, Activision, and that's
Yep.
literally it. Um,
It's what I was saying earlier with I sent you a link about Nvidia
yeah.
buying a ARM. I don't know if you caught that in the recording process.
I don't think so. Not too much.
No. Basically Nvidia a couple months ago did a $40 billion takeover of a semiconductor chip baldic ass buyout. What is it? Let's see. Semiconductor chip. Yeah. So I don't know what semiconductors are. They sound cool, but Nvidia wanted them, so they essentially bought them. So what happens is when you put it this way, I'm starting to think of it a little more.
Yeah.
Uh, Nvidia has to go to ARM. This is the name of the semiconductor company. They have to purchase these semiconductors or whatever product that they specifically need from ARM, and then they incorporate that into their product. I'm sure there's more to it, legal, intellectual property, whatever. Um, but what ends up happening, because ARM is its own entity and it can sell to whoever it wants, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty not maybe not a commodity, but it's something that electronics and software companies typically use, right?
Right.
And they get to control their price. And if they develop something that someone wants, that they could control their price. Um, Nvidia buys them or tries to buy them so that they no longer have to purchase semiconductors
Right.
themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but now gets to control the price in who blah, 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 gets to control the price and how it's sold,
Yeah.
which is what ends up happening in something like a monopoly, where they end up
Great
the
game,
fewer
by the way.
companies there are, they yeah the rules they get to whatever baldic ass but
Mm-hmm.
control their own price, uh, and there's no competition. There's no competition to adjust the price and the demand. So uh, it reminded me in Microsoft's case, as you were saying, Microsoft now has the ability to like price it however it wants to cut out other platforms if it wanted to, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting stuff. The difference is, I do believe at the moment, is that Nvidia was checked from buying ARM by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. But I don't
Which
know
makes
what the
sense. Yeah.
ramifications are with Activision and Microsoft.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I would I think Microsoft's fine. Um, they're not really a monopoly because there's so many gaming companies out there that and the thing is also with the a lot of indie developers, right? A lot of indie
Hmm.
developers out there in the world, and um, that's something that PlayStation. I remember a few years back, they were really pushing towards indie games, a
Hmm.
lot of indie games, and that's what they were pushing. And I think they're just making it easier for uh, developing teams to just work with PlayStation to make games. So you know, Microsoft can buy as many companies as they want. Um, uh, People are gonna realize that they're working for a corporation and not be happy, and all that mumbo jumbo, and
Hmm.
they're gonna some people aren't gonna be happy, some people will. There's, like I said before, a lot of indie developers out there in the world, and they you can't buy out every single company like that. Um,
I'm sure Microsoft will try.
I'll try, but sure they won't be able to.
Yeah.
That like the whole Nvidia thing, I agree. That was a big no no. um, when
I'm
you
sure there's more to it. I'm sure my analysis was probably fairly reductive and mischaracterizing. But I do think
uh
for anyone who is interested, give a couple articles a read. There's a solid one I think in Guardian. I don't know if Jacobin has one, so it'd be worth giving it a try.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was a big no no. It's pretty obvious what they were attempting to do.
Hmm.
I'm glad they were able to hop in and prevent it, from getting worse.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it would have been a monopoly at that point because then why would you buy anything else? Because everything else would just be so much more expensive.
Hmm.
Um,
I think the the term would be a monopsony. I
oh,
always like I always forget like a monopoly is when you have one person to buy from, but a monopsony I believe is when you have one seller or one buyer, one seller. I can't fucking I don't know. Shouldn't even brought it up. Never fucking mind.
okay, but I think the Activision transition be actually like being told what Microsoft wants. They said is going to be down the road, at least a couple years. Um, it says, when will the deal be done? Sometime between July 2022 and July 2023.
Okay.
So they're not actually going to be for sure bought out until later this year, anyways. And by the time Activision is able to put their input, it's going to be a while, especially seeing it, because they're already going to have things on track to be coming out. And you're not going to want to stop things from coming out when you're going to
Yeah.
be making money off of it. So it's going to be a bit until we see, the changes. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. It's obviously big in the gaming community because you know Microsoft is the main company for Xbox, and Activision is the main company for a lot of AAA
Yeah.
games. So it is a little scary, seeing something like that in the gaming industry, because the other thing too is that you know Activision is has been in a lot of hot water recently, the past couple years.
Right. With
Um,
I actually haven't read up. No, I said something about it, but I actually haven't read up as much as I should on about it. Should about
mm,
it. I have not read up on it as much as I should have.
right. But I forget the details too. But you know. from what it is, they've been in hot water. And I think this it's interesting, right? Why Microsoft buying out a company that's having a lot of bad publicity, you know?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Like, are they buying it out because Activision was trying to, like, hey, someone buy us so we can not be the main company? I don't, that's an interesting thought, right? Like,
Yeah.
Activision being, hey, we will sell, we will, like, we will, we will merge with someone just so we don't get so much flack because it's getting a little ridiculous, maybe, and Microsoft's like, how much? You know,
This
like,
much.
like, because, yeah, because obviously the whole thing is that, stuff was happening within Blizzard and, you know, apparently people in Activision knew and didn't do anything about it. And so they're getting flack and a lot of bad publicity. And it, are people going to keep talking about it, right? Or are they going to or are they going to only talk about how Microsoft bought them out?
Right.
Yeah.
And
So,
like, yeah. So I was wondering, like, what kind of will this disrupt anything that you know any no? What am I saying? Would this disrupt any not investigation, but consideration as to the previous practices that went on over at Activision? Same thing with some of the. I believe there was some unionization efforts, as we mentioned before.
yeah.
So what will this buyout do? Will it just be like, oh, cool, more games and like da da da, or will it,
Mm-hmm.
will this actually yield some kind of positive change to the company itself? Like, I'm not
Right.
opposed. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
if Microsoft buys Activision and Activision is a better company, then like I'm not going to be like, well, I'm just categorically against this acquisition in any rate. Like, then fine. But like, let's just hope things don't get thrown under the bus during this acquisition.
Yeah. Agreed. Um, So we talked about basically the Nvidia thing, so we don't really need to go into detail about that. Um, because it's just straightforward, right? Like Nvidia
Mhm.
just becoming a monopoly. We could move on to, uh, I guess I want to see your take. Um, so again, we're a little late, but apparently, a big streamer on Twitch was banned because they were streaming Avatar: The Last Airbender. Basically, it was
Fuck you, Pokemon.
so it says one of the most popular streamers on Twitch with over 8.5 million followers was banned from the platform after streaming the popular animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender. The cause of the ban is still unknown, but likely the result of a DMCA strike. So DMCA, I forget
Digital
the.
Millennium Copyright Act.
There you go. um, it's just basically if you are profiting off of someone else's stuff, you that's a big no no. That is against the law. Which
It's not just. That's the thing too. Is it's not just because it's like if we played an altered version of or some kind of media that had some Avatar: The Last Airbender in it, but it was altered, I don't think you would get a copyright. It's like a
yeah,
transformative. Fuck. The the term is if it replaces the market
mm,
for what that previously was. So if I like the argument would be like, oh, someone lost out on the potential of buying Avatar: The Last Airbender because this person watched it instead of I made something like commentary about Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is not replacing the market for it. It's commentary.
mm,
Um, Lindsay Ellis, I don't know if anyone's familiar. She's a was a very famous YouTube essayist. Um, she recently retired, sadly, due to harassment. But she did a video. I'm looking it up right now. Apologies, lady and gentleman. She did a video, I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago, regarding a copyright issue that she had with some fucking person. Um,
Mhm.
Addison Kane's lawyer emailed me, and it only got worse from there. About a year ago, with 3 million views, and she discusses in that video. It's kind of, if you're invested, sure, but then she does go into the meat and bones of like what copyright in like the barest sense is.
Yeah.
So if anyone's interested in that and how like copyright can work in like an interesting and cute kind of way, go ahead
Hmm.
and give that a watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's fine. If you're fucking if you're watching something or you're playing copywritten music or copyrighted, I don't, copywritten or copyrighted, copywritten,
Written. Yeah.
doesn't matter. If you're playing something like that, I don't necessarily know how I feel about it in and of itself. Like copyright, you can't play this, can't play that. But
Yeah.
as current laws stand, yeah, couldn't you can get fucked that way. And terms of service with Twitch say that you can't do it either.
Yeah.
Uh, DMCA's are typically like a warning and a way for like companies to skirt liability.
Mm.
So, I mean, I don't see the issue. She's fucking Pokimane. She's one of the largest fucking streamers. Um, Twitch will not. I don't know. I don't know what their politics are. I don't know how fucking big they are. I don't think this is based on no information. I don't think Twitch will make that ban long.
So
She's gonna get it. She's gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I was say she was only banned for 48 hours.
Yeah, yeah. That. How many bans has she gotten in her entire stream career at Twitch?
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me. We are now a
We're now
podcast of
researching.
stats.
Yep. Going to college again, guys. Next class semester, statistics.
Let's see. How
Because if it's
many
48
times?
hours, I would imagine it's one of like the first couple first bands she's got. If not, then I'll fucking eat my hat. But like, she's like I said, one of the largest streamers. Also, all things said and done, I don't think she's all that problematic either.
Yeah, and it might have been her first.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I
Like,
think the so to me, so she's just one of many that have been um banned because of stuff like that. Um, they're calling it let me see here. They're calling it the React meta. I think we know of like the React videos where people just literally put up other people's videos and then react to them. Um, it's a it's a format that's semi like looked down upon. Um, because they call it lazy, like um,
oh yeah,
just
yeah, I
lazy
know what you're talking
content,
about.
right?
Yeah, it's been a thing that's been going on where they just like sit there, they watch someone else's video and just react the whole video.
Yeah.
They can even do like some live stuff and they'll just react to it, if at all.
Yeah, so the biggest thing, like for example, the Out to the Last Airbender, that's just one example. There was a streamer who was basically streaming the entire Lord of the Rings movie, first one, um, while they were sleeping. Uh,
Yes, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I don't. I'm sure it violates like the the
like it 100% violates DMCA and like
yeah.
it it is against the law. you know.
Right.
I
But
think,
if it's just React though, because this is kind of like a twofold thing, right? Where it's like
mm,
it's just React, which is something that like it's not against the rules, but it's like it kind of defeats the spirit, right? Where it's like
yeah.
you just have someone like cashing in easy money, easy time off someone else's, stream, right? And then on top of that, now you're putting on a like a movie and you're not doing anything either. Like I don't
Mm,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se. Hold on. I have yet to form an opinion on it. Off
mm,
the top of my head, I don't think it's something that like you can just ban outright. Like there, there's just like there's a part of me that's like I don't think it should be banned necessarily. Like sure you should discourage it because I don't think it's like it's particularly enjoyable and I don't think it's a particularly right thing to do for something like Twitch, but I don't think you should just outright ban it. I just think it's something that you should like culturally within Twitch maintain as something that you just don't do, like a taboo almost.
um, yeah, to a point. I just, it's still that whole against the law thing, right?
Right,
To
that
to me,
part is different. Yeah.
like there's obviously this is a discussion that's been talked about multiple times, and it's a discussion that's going to be kept talking about. It, it's just when it comes down to it, it is against the law. Um,
Mhm.
and the thing is, Twitch can get in a lot of trouble. Obviously, for example, someone like Pokimane, the other people who are huge streamers who are doing this, um, can get in a lot of trouble too.
Mhm.
They may not, because me doing my research, basically, these companies, right? WB, I believe, owns the rights to Lord of the Rings, the movies.
Yeah.
Um, Nickelodeon owns Avatar: The Last Airbender. These companies, like, when they come after people who do this kind of stuff, like for example, if I did it, they won't come after me. The reason being, I don't have any money to my name, and they know that for a fact. But someone like
Or they'll come after you and they'll just ban you without even a second thought.
this is very true. But I meant like the big companies, the Nickelodeon, the WB, the people who will go out of their way to sue you because you're
Mhm.
making profit out of them or out of
Yeah.
their stuff. Like if I illegally downloaded Lord of the Rings, um, they can give two shits because they're like, what the fuck ever, dude. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like they wouldn't really, because what money would they make out of me? Nothing. I don't have money. But someone like Pokimane, someone like these Twitch
And there are
streamers.
fewer people, no offense, there are fewer people watching your stream.
Oh yeah, 100%, right? Like, well,
Right.
my biggest thing is I don't make money off my stream. So if they came after me, I'd
Yes.
be like, "Yo, I'm just streaming to whoever. I'm not making any money."
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I'll stop. I'll stop streaming it. That's fine. But I'm not really breaking the law because I'm not making any profit. I'm not. I have no ads going through my stream. I'm not getting any subs. I'm not getting donations. I'm not getting anything. I'm just
Mhm.
watching with my friends. Because, like, technically, like, if I played something over Discord and streamed it to you guys, it would be the same thing, right? But it's the same vein where, like, I'm not making any money off of it. Where these people, these Twitch streamers who have millions of subscribers and thousands of people watching their streams, are making hella money.
Mhm.
And if you're playing stuff like that and you're making money off of it, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And those companies can go after them because they literally have video evidence of them
Yeah. Mhm.
on webcam watching this and streaming it to the masses.
It's
Like,
so I because I feel like the DMCA was made, I think, in the late '90s in the advent of the internet
Mm-hmm.
to essentially like blanket protect
Mm-hmm.
people's IP, right? But I feel like it's something that is largely being used by large groups. Sony did this shit
Yeah.
like about a year ago. Uh uh Fucking companies and whatnot. But I don't I don't think I'm nearly smart enough to know about it. Or no, let me
Mm-hmm.
rephrase that. I have not invested nearly enough time to actually have a professional opinion on this, or an amateur opinion for that part. But
Fair enough.
uh I do know that, let's not even talk about like the law at the moment. Twitch's terms of service forbids stuff like that. You don't even have to get into the law.
Yes.
Twitch's terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Twitch's terms of service. They're like, hey, you can't do this. Um, we're pretty serious about this, as evidenced by like way back when like Tim the Tap Man and Hassan, uh, and even your guy, Disrespect, literally like combed through their VODs and were
Mm-hmm.
deleting shit left and right?
Yeah.
For fear of like finding the occasional DMCA-able uh, IP, right?
Correct.
Um,
Correct.
so it's like I don't know. I don't. From what I think, or from what I know about Pokey, she's not. At least I haven't seen her do stuff in the way of like what is it? Christ, what am I saying? I haven't seen her do anything in the way of like oh my god, just react. She
Yeah.
typically does content. Uh, I don't know the length of which she watched any of this. She
Mm-hmm.
literally could have had on like a couple minutes and just got fucking like steamrolled then. Or fuck, she could have very well been fucking just reacting. But
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm honestly commenting on an instance that I don't know
Mm-hmm.
related to a topic that I know very little.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because this is hitting the mark with Harry and Mark, motherfuckers.
It's true.
But yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I hear you on it. Like, she was watching something she shouldn't have with the terms of service. She got a little slap on the wrist. She's fine. She's gonna keep making her fucking money. She's one of the highest paid people on the platform, or maybe not one of the
Mm.
highest. I have no
I believe
idea.
so. I believe so.
She's one of the biggest names on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to be kidding if they're gonna like fuck with that. So,
So I don't like them being fully banned like off of Twitch. I would never think they would do that because Pokimane does make a lot of money for Twitch.
yeah, she
But
represents more of a net good for them than anything.
yeah, and it's just more of um again, it's that thing where it's like it's a big no no. Like it's
Hmm.
something that you know, like DMCA has been a thing for music on Twitch for a long time already.
Hmm.
And that one is kind of like, it's just music. You don't need to really have anything in the background. And there's so many ways to get DMCA free music at this point
Hmm.
now. Other streamers have created music that you could just play. It might not be what you want, but it won't get you banned.
Yeah, that's why YouTube does nothing but like scenes from movies. I'm literally watching,
Yeah.
or like I'm literally, literally, I am gazing upon a 1 minute 15-second clip of the scene from or Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Not even out yet, but it's like a minute 15. Probably get taken down soon, or not. It'd probably fly under the radar. But it's like
Mhm.
it can survive on there because it's a minute and 15 of uh
A 2.5 hour movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um Still that's skirting it. I've
Yep.
seen I follow a YouTuber called Vosh. He'll always make a stink about like someone sending him linked material and it's got like copywritten material and he won't chance it at all.
Yeah.
Like at all. So that represents like an issue for people. He's gone on and debated people, and one dude was so fucking malicious about it. He just spammed copywritten music during the debate to just to fuck with him.
Wow.
So yeah, but like you have something like YouTube where you have millions of videos, and someone has taken probably like scenes uh from fucking an Avengers movie or a Star Wars movie or any
Yeah.
fucking movie and spliced it or made a joke out of it. But that doesn't break DMCA again because
Yeah.
they're transform. I think it's transformative material.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking. What about Machinima? Machinima uses video game assets,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not just. But see, that's another thing too. What about video games?
So it's funny because Livy and I had this conversation today.
Hmm.
Um, Video games know that people streaming their games and making videos about their games is free publicity. Um,
Right.
and I
Which is
told
what I don't think Disney. I don't think Sony was appreciative
and,
of.
and, yeah, and the thing with that, this goes with music and with shows and movies. Like when someone streams and talks about your stuff, it's free publicity. Like I get
Yeah.
it. Like they may be profiting off of it, but at the same time, it's free publicity for you. This information is being brought out to the mass, especially when they have like, you know, millions of followers and viewers and all that and subscribers. Like it's again free publicity
Oh
to a
yeah.
lot of people. And that's why video game companies don't do they actually go out of the way and pay uh you know content creators to play their game instead. Like, hey, you like the game? Why don't we give you free shit in the game?
Yeah.
They, hey, you like our stuff? We'll make it so you keep talking about our stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I was telling Livy, Minecraft would have never been as big as it is if it weren't for YouTubers making YouTube videos about the game. It would not be because no one would have played the game.
Oh yeah.
Like, I
Exploded because people shared it.
I first heard of Minecraft off of a YouTuber, which was I believe he may have been the first YouTuber who was coming out with content for Minecraft.
Hmm.
Because he was just like, I don't know how to play this game. Let's figure it out. And there weren't really any directions. He was just kind of figuring. It was like alpha Minecraft, dude. And he was just playing it, and people liked him as a person, so they kept watching his videos. I'm like, oh wow, this is an interesting game. Let me check it out. And then it started getting big, and then like I swear I believe people said Minecraft wouldn't have gotten as big as it gotten if it weren't for him, because he's the one who started playing it. He's the one who
Hmm.
was uploading the videos, and people started playing it because of him. And people obviously were putting more videos because it started getting bigger. And they're like, oh, well, let me make videos of this game and see if I can get people to watch my videos. And that's how Minecraft got so fucking big. And that's
Hmm.
how it got bought up by Microsoft. And now I have to deal with the Microsoft store to play fucking Minecraft. But the story is it was because of a just a YouTuber who had somewhat like thousands of followers.
Hmm.
And I believe a lot of gaming companies see that and say, that's why if someone plays our games, we're going to go out of our way to make sure they keep playing our game. Right. Um, and for music, like I was telling Livy, like you might think, or people may think music's different. TV series and movies are different. It's like not really. Um, how many times have like you let a friend borrow a DVD or a CD? Many times, right? Y- y- right, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically them not paying to experience that. So it's like, are they breaking the law? No,
Mhm.
but it's free publicity for whoever that is, whoever made that thing, right? It's word of
Yeah.
mouth. Um, and that's where, you know, what YouTube and Twitch is. Like the whole DMCA thing should just stop. I think it shouldn't be a thing anymore. I understand why it's still a thing, but I personally believe they should end it because it's free publicity for these companies. It's just people promoting things that they love, and they have a bunch of followers, and people are going to get
Mhm.
into it as much as they are, right? Just like Minecraft with scene enters, like it was a thing, right? Like Call of Duty. Call of Duty wouldn't have been as big as it is now if it weren't for all those YouTubers too. There's
Yeah.
like people were making Call of Duty videos for Call of Duty 2, right? Before
Mhm.
Modern Warfare got its big thing. And Call of Duty had its fan base and it was on YouTube, when especially when YouTube was still, newish, right? Um, gaming content wasn't huge when it first came out. But,
Oh yeah.
you went to YouTube and you looked up Call of Duty and you would see these guys play Call of Duty and some of them were really good. They made montages and stuff like, wow, yeah, this is really cool, man. I want to do that. And then you just start playing Call of Duty and you tell your friends and their friends tell their friends, right? It's just
Mhm.
word of mouth. Call of Duty gets big.
Yeah,
And
the power
that's
of not nickel and dime and
exactly, dude. And it works. It's worked for video games. And that's why they, that's the biggest reason why I think people, video game producers don't touch or like that kind of shit because they can easily do what Sony and all these other companies are threatening to do. It's like you could do that, but they're smart. They know they're getting free publicity that they don't really need to be paying for.
Mhm.
They can and sometimes they do, but they don't have to because they just say they just come out with the product and people just word of mouth it, and it's a huge word of mouth because some of these people have, like, again, millions of subscribers, millions of followers, and it's just like, oh, this person likes this game, I'm gonna buy it too. It's like simple as that. And it's like,
Damn straight.
and with music, it's the same thing, like, yes, let's say um I let you borrow a CD, you put it onto your computer, now you have the music for free, right?
Mhm.
Plenty of people do that. I've done that, right? Um, but if I like the music, right? If I like the music, I'm gonna delve into other albums that maybe my friend doesn't own, and I'm like, fuck, I want to get more into this band. I go buy out. Maybe I'll go buy an album, from the store, or from the internet, because that's a thing now. Um,
Mhm.
I like them so much, I want to buy a shirt, fucking shirt. Oh, I want to buy a poster, I'll buy a poster. Hey, they're coming, this artist is coming around, where I live, I'm gonna go see him live. It
Mhm.
just starts with one fucking thing, dude. And it's like that's something that I think the music industry and the Hollywood industry is just too pompous to realize, because gaming, and you and I grew up in the world where, oh, you like video games, you're a fucking nerd. And gaming came from that, like, era, and it came from the bottom. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but it
Mhm.
wasn't that before.
Oh yeah.
And music and Hollywood, they were they're really pompous. They're like, we've always been a multi-billion-dollar, maybe trillion-dollar industry at this point, you know, and they're just like, no one can make money off of our stuff. It's like, okay, that's fine, whatever, dude, fuck you. But the video game industry understands that most of the people who are still in the video game industry were
Hmm.
video game players back in the day. Yes, the main fucking people are probably just people who know how to work with money and never
Right.
played a game in their life, but for the most part, some of them did, and they know this is why we're big. This is why we're buying Minecraft. Like because of these platforms, YouTube, Twitch. Like they're promoting our products for free. So if the DMCA stopped and someone like Pokimane could um what do you call it can watch Avatar: The Last Airbender and
Hmm.
just sit there, and yeah, she's probably going to be making a lot of money out of it, but at the same time, she's if she's talking good about your show and then like reacting to it and say, "Oh man, this is such a great show. I love this part. I love that part."
Yeah, I would
Going
imagine
in
she'll probably get more people to want to watch it.
exactly. That's like it. I know it works because I've seen it work. You know,
Yeah.
I grew up watching video game stuff on YouTube, and I see how massive it gets. Like a most recent one that Livy was talking about, Among Us. Among Us was a fucking indie game that no one would have touched
Yeah.
if it wasn't for content creators starting to play it,
Had its
right?
bubble when people put eyes on it. Yeah.
Exactly. Like that shows like when things get big on YouTube or Twitch, it gets fucking massive because it's not just them streaming to their friends, it's them streaming to thousands to
Thousands of
millions
other
of
people.
people, and
Yeah.
it's like it just makes
Like, come on.
sense.
Are you gonna tell me fucking Hassan uh playing Among Us with AOC
Yeah, dude.
did not help? You tell like it doesn't matter because like he had the ability to play it or whatever. He wasn't gonna get in trouble playing it, but like the marketing of getting the biggest, not one of, but the biggest streamer in the
Yep.
world right now,
Mm-hmm.
Hassan, getting him to play with, like it or hate it,
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest left leaning politicians in the world.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. One of the biggest left leaning politicians in the United States on and playing a game together and just chatting
Yeah.
while doing that. Like, come on. Like that I think is is like a reverse. Like Hassan and
Mm-hmm.
AOC should have DMCA'd the creators of Among Us. No.
Right.
Um but like that's obviously an instance where it's like you're gonna bring in people who are interested in multiple different avenues of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, you're gonna be like, oh cool Among Us too.
Right.
And going from that angle.
Yeah.
So
No, you're absolutely right. It's just it's money on the table for
yeah.
these industries, and it's so weird that they don't see that. Like I'm sure they do see it here and there, but I feel like they're just on this pedestal and they think they're above everything. And it's like again, it's it's money left on the table. It's free
It's
publicity.
I honestly think I honestly think companies behave like animals,
Mm-hmm.
like rational actor, whatever, da da da.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think a company has the conscious collective intelligence of like an animal.
Yeah.
I've collected these berries. I see someone else who is near the berries. I'm going to bite them.
Mm-hmm.
I want all of these berries. I don't think far ahead if this does not help me get more berries, then I don't want it. But
Right.
if I find out that this weird thing does help me get berries, I'm going to keep doing it under any circumstance. Like I'm this that's a surface level statement, but it just from what I interpret as like how a company acts. I get
Yeah.
that there are a couple actors every now and then who are like, we need to manipulate like local government. Let's put a couple $1 million in there and influence this and that. Sure, sure, sure. But like a basic company is like beholden to investors, right? So they
Yeah.
have to be beholden to so they have to be responsible for how a company operates. And
Hmm.
typically that involves like keeping your shareholders rich. And
Yeah.
typically that means having a company that makes money. And there aren't like I think many like ethical ways or at
Hmm.
least many ways that involve like no, I'm just going to erase what that was. I don't think there are typically many like 100% ethical or just ways for a company to make a lot of money well and fast.
Yeah.
So they just do that. No, never mind like what the law says or whatever. I'm sure they find their own way to get through it or around it, lobbying, local government futzing, and so on and so forth. But like honestly, a company, in my opinion, behaves in the manner of like a small child or like a an intelligent animal. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I honestly don't think they have the foresight to see like, oh, you know what, the DMCA is probably I don't know, hurting the brand maybe. I don't have any information to like back that up at all again too. So
Mm. No, I agree with you. Because again, I see it, but I mean, we'll see down the road.
mhm,
It just seems like it's heading towards something like that, but it just seems again they're just on this huge pedestal and they think they're above everything, and it's like
yeah,
you know, it, it could easily just be like, hey, you can play what you want, like you know what I mean, like again, like the examples I gave out, it's just free publicity, but until then, it's against the law, and it's kind of I don't know. It's one of those like, what are you doing kind of things, right? Like you're committing a crime and you're just signing your signature. Like
yeah,
because these obviously again, like I said, they can get in trouble because they literally have video footage and evidence of them doing
mhm,
it.
yeah,
And they can get in a lot of trouble. Not only that, but Twitch can get in a lot of trouble. Um, and the thing is, if Twitch gets in a lot of trouble,
yeah.
and you,
That's why they have it in their terms of service, right? Where it's
right,
like, okay, we don't allow you to do this because we do not want
right,
liability for it.
and the
We'll
thing is,
ban the fuck out of you
yeah.
and cut off your income
So
if you do this.
the thing is, uh, the terms of service basically state that the streamer is fully responsible of anything like that.
Mhm.
So it is more likely that the streamer will get in trouble and get fined and penalized and possibly do jail time if uh they get if the company decide to sue. So it's
I can't
easier.
imagine a world where that a non-violent, yeah, no, a victimless crime. I can't imagine unless it's like willful DMCA, like yeah, I'm a serial DMCA fucking
But the, but the thi-
abuser.
but the thing is, it just takes one dude. It really
Yeah.
just takes one, and it takes one company to be like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit from happening. I'm just I'm gonna pursue it because I know they make hella money, and we're gonna make a pretty penny off of this person.
Hmm.
Um, and the other big thing is maybe they don't go after him, but they're tired of what. that Twitch isn't doing anything other than banning these people for 48 hours and letting them come back. Because
Fuck.
that's
You know what?
literally all they do.
Look up the Lindsay Ellis video. I do think she explains it a hell of a lot better than I could. There are two videos. You could space those out how whatever time you want.
Mm,
They're a little lengthy, like an hour, I think, but still really fun. Uh, and again, I actually think she does break down the information pretty uh, comprehensively. So give it a watch. That I think because that might help what we're talking about too.
okay.
And
I
any
will.
viewers, Lindsay Ellis is a solid, was a solid YouTube essayist. Funny, got a good sense of humor, breaks down some fun stuff. And she recently quit, as I said, due to some harassment, and she's just writing now. So buy her book if you're interested.
But yeah, I just, again, um, they could go after Twitch, and because again, Twitch does only ban them for a bit, and that's it. So that's another big thing. Like, unless something changes, it's not like when it comes to like lazy content. Like, it is what it is. It's content. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know what I mean? Um, that's how I feel about that. If that's what these creators want to make and just react to things, it's okay. That's fine. I'm just not gonna watch it.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like, I don't know. It's just one of those like there's other stuff that comes up like like I think you and I discussed where like content creating. There's a lot of work put into it.
Uh
Um,
huh. A
and
lot of
you
effort.
a lot of effort. You're putting 60, 80 hours a week, working basically at your business, and and I get it, right? Like, sometimes you just want a day off and you're like, I'm just gonna react to this video that I saw on YouTube. And you know because yeah, you technically, if you take a day off, you're really taking a day off. You have no vacation time, you have no sick time.
Mhm.
um you know you have no
That's
employer. You
yeah.
are you
That's
are
part of the
a
gig economy.
yeah, you
Because
are.
let's be honest, like a YouTuber, I'm probably going to butcher marks, I guess, but I had a classmate who broke it down for me and said like you could be a rich gig worker and still be a member of the proletariat. I think it's like the labor aristocracy,
Mm,
or you can be, you know, a small business owner and be petit bourgeois. So you can be someone like Hassan who essentially produces their own labor and whatnot. They're,
yeah.
you know, but they do work for a living. They do work every day, and their
Mm,
income is very precarious. And Hassan and other streamers are examples of hyper successful people. A majority of streamers don't actually subsist off of the money that they make comfortably.
yeah.
So it's like what's tough for me is like Stace wants me to like no, she doesn't want me. She encouraged me because sometimes like I bitch and moan about work because it
Hmm.
fucking sucks, right? Working a nine to
Yeah.
five or working like a full time job. Yeah, it fucking blows. And the idea of like making it big as a YouTuber is always one of those fun things, right? And
Hmm.
then for me, it's not quite the same because it's like I don't like the idea of tying labor to something that I just like doing,
Yeah.
right? I like doing this with you.
Hmm.
Like
It's fun.
this is something I just enjoy. It's fulfilling
Yeah.
doing with you because you're my friend. We keep up with to we keep track of each other. By doing this, we talk sometimes throughout the week. But like the concept of doing this to subsist off of, right, or to live off of,
Hmm.
I think would change it. And I don't. That's not. I don't. I don't make any. statements like against you about that. I just mean like
Yeah.
in general. It's like I like airbrushing and painting. I'm not particularly great at it, but
Mm-hmm.
if I had to live off it, I'm sure I'd fucking hate doing it.
Yep.
Like it immediately becomes less enjoyable the moment I have to do it for a living.
Yeah.
And when you have to do something like that for a living, and then you decide that you need to take a day off because fucking Hassan does it. I don't know why I bring up Hassan. I think Hassan is like the extreme example because he pretty much streams every day and he streams for like 8 to 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's fucking rich. He
Mm-hmm.
is loaded, but he does that every day and he does that for 8 to 12 hours. I wouldn't want to fucking do that. There's a political lefty on Twitch, the Serfs, who I mentioned to you before.
Yes.
Uh, he does like 3 or 4 days a week, and he does for 4 or 5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like the upper 1,000 top streamers.
Yeah.
But it's like he still has to scrounge by for it because he does that full time technically, and that's still like I have to split, you know, rent in I think Alberta with my partner and yada yada. But it's like, yeah, I would imagine getting a fucking DMCA strike would like hobble a fucking football player in the sense that, a DMCA strike to a Twitch streamer would probably be like hobbling a football player. That's what I was trying to say,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like the same thing as someone working in Uber, right? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
all the my fucking tire got blown out. I can't pick up fucking uh customers for the next week. Okay, there goes a week's of income.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I'm not making as much. I'm not making anything. Because it's like what Sony fucking what was it a year ago they were doing the shit with what The Last of Us 2
Yes.
where they just like obliterated channels and they did they just silenced a bunch of people. It's a tool that rich fucking companies use to just silence folks. Like folks who have like a couple thousand people who
Yeah.
view this shit. You know what? I don't make any excuses like ignorance of the law does not make you innocent or whatever, yada yada. But like, no. Let's be clear. Some of these people do use YouTube or Twitch as a means of living. And to do something like that to someone who's scrounging by, I don't think is right. Personally, I think it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I'm sure there are instances where it is probably good to use or have. I
Yeah.
haven't seen instances where that's the case.
Neither have I.
Uh, I'm also sure it was invented to help people, or some way of making things easy for people,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of ease of access. But it doesn't seem like it's the case now. It seems like it's like a cudgel that large companies use against smaller producers, against smaller contributors, against smaller whatever. Similar to how maybe we won't talk about it tonight because it is a little late, but similarly how you know it might be with the NFT community and crypto, where it's
Yeah.
like it's no longer like it was billed as something that anyone could do, but that point is past, and the only people who really get the benefit of it are the occasional people who just have the right sense of timing and the uber fucking rich who are already stacked, right? But
Right.
that's a discussion for another time. We were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the DMCA.
But yeah, no. I don't know. The other thing, it's just like the other thing is Twitch isn't any of any of their employees, right?
Right.
That's the other big thing, because like I said before, Twitch is like, slapping their hands. I'm not involved. You signed a contract. You this falls on you, not me, on you. And
Hmm.
that's the other thing, right? Like my thing is just like I guess my like what I'm saying is like these streamers, you know, are do are doing these things that like can get them in really big trouble.
Yeah, they front the personality, they front the time, they front the effort. They make the money, but they also front up all of the risk.
Yeah, and it's obvious that Twitch is like it falls on you, not us. We're not going to be here to watch your back. That's not what Twitch is there for. Twitch is there to make money. Like um like Twitch has, this affiliate program, right?
Hmm.
Um Affiliate program, basically you're able to get subs and bits, and you get ads, on your stream now, so you make some ad revenue. The problem is, um if you break down how much you actually make from subs, bits, and ad revenue, uh most Twitch streamers don't even talk about the ad revenue because it's abysmal. You get nothing off of ads.
Oh,
But
from the affiliate program? Yeah,
yeah,
it's a it's hyped up as like this high reward kind of thing, right? Where it's
yeah,
like, oh, hey, welcome to the affiliate program. You get a couple of benefits, but a shitload of caveats that don't really help you.
yeah. You're right on the money. Basically, it's just a way for Twitch to make more money, free
Yeah,
money, basically. Um, like
off of you.
yes, off of, yeah, because subscriptions they're $5 a month, right? You're only getting 50% of that money. You're getting 50% of the money, and there's these things that they created called bits. Um, it's 1 cent per bit, right? So when someone buys bits, it's 1 cent per bit. But when you send those bits to the streamer, it's a lot less. It's like a tenth of a cent per bit. So Twitch is making a lot of money from that, right? Um, the other thing is, and I have a coworker who streams. I think I've told you, um, and we're kind of discussing this, right? The whole affiliate thing and stuff like that, and how I never wanted it because of these reasons, right? Um, the other thing is, Twitch will only send you out a paycheck if you reach minimum $150.
Mm,
So if you don't reach that, you won't see a paycheck. So if you can imagine, new streamer hops in, is able to make affiliate, able to get some subscriptions, and then does that for a few months, but doesn't reach the $150 mark, and then just stops streaming.
that's a
Tw-
loss.
Twitch just gained all that money.
Yep.
It's free money. It's like, yeah, go ahead. Here's the affiliate program, and becoming an affiliate isn't that hard. It really isn't. Um, it's worth it if you have a community, right? If you're able to get $150 like maybe a month, right? I say, or maybe at least every other month, you get $150 uh paycheck from Twitch. I say it's probably worth it because that's $150 that you're seeing, every other month. But like if you're a smaller uh um streamer and you don't have that many follow, like you don't have a bunch of followers, like actual followers, not this whole follow for follow bullshit.
Hmm.
um it's not worth it because you're just like, unless you actually build a community, you're not really getting anything out of it. You're just making
Yeah.
Twitch free money. um
Yeah.
and it's brilliant for them. It's fucking genius. It's like, we're gonna make free money, and it works because they're promoting this thing. Hey, you can make money from streaming, and it's true,
Hmm.
you can. But as we discussed, I think a few months ago when they released the Twitch, how much people make, um, uh, you know, people don't make that much money off of Twitch. Like percentage wise, right? Like the people who are on the top, yes, they make a lot of money, but there's not many people at the top, you know? So it's like the chances of you pulling it off and having a community and doing this and that, and like
Are
they're
fucking hard and slim,
yes.
and yeah,
And
yeah,
it's very what's the I'm trying to find the right word. Um not demeaning, discouraging when you start streaming, you get some people to watch your stream, maybe your friends, and that's it, right? Um and I think I told you like I tried streaming by myself.
hmm,
It was cool. It wasn't bad, but I also r- really enjoyed when I played with you guys, right? Like it wasn't fun when there wasn't really anyone there, but as soon as
right,
I started playing with someone, it was no longer streaming. It was just me playing with my friends. And then
yeah,
if people decided to hop on the chat and hang out and chat, it was cool. But I kind of was like, yeah, the whole streaming by yourself and trying to reach a um people to watch your stream, like you have to have this persona, you have to
hmm,
promote yourself, you have to all do all these things, and if none of that works, you're you just feel like you wasted your time, and then
yeah,
you stop streaming, you know and then you realize I could just be working, you know I could just be making actual money, so it's like it's one of those things, and it just at the end of the day, Twitch isn't there for you, and
hmm,
these streamers are doing these react videos, which unfortunately, some streamers decided to complain that Twitch doesn't offer them sick time, doesn't offer them any medical anything, or just anything, and unfortunately, of course, they got a lot of flack for it because hey, you're basically a contractor.
yeah.
You're
You're a
not
gig
their
worker.
employee. Yeah, that's all you are. Twitch isn't responsible to pay you all the time. They're not. You're responsible to make money. Like you can complain about how your vet bills are expensive, how you want some sick time, but Twitch doesn't offer it to you. It's like complain all you want. At the end of the day, you're a contractor, and yes, Twitch gives you money, but only by contract. Like not because you're their employee. You know, and I don't know. Like it just seems like at least the big streamers, right? You would think they have agents. You would think they have, someone there to make sure they're
Mm.
not, you know,
Some of them do, yeah,
yes, some
but
of them do.
largely no.
Yeah. And it
The
sucks.
the big ones, it's the ones that everyone's familiar with. Like I'm sure Pokey has agents, like Hassan, fucking Disrespect,
Yeah.
Destiny. Like I'm sure they have mods up the wazoo,
Hmm.
agents, like people managing their social media. But like again, how many people are streaming? How many people? No, no, no. How many people do you think are streaming right now?
I could look that up, but I forgot how to do it.
Like
But you're right.
tens of thousands, hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands of people,
Hmm.
and how many of them are like what we were just saying? How many of them are like the known ones? Like how
Yeah.
many of them are Destinies? How many of them are Hassans? Like Hassan literally just bought a couple million. Not a gripe. I don't give a shit. He's a socialist,
Yeah.
and everyone keeps shitting on him for it. Like he bought like a couple $1 million place in fucking Beverly Hills. Like how many of them are where was I going with this? How many of that kind of streamer are there? The rest are well, with the fewest possible people like you and me.
Hmm.
We do this casually for fun
Yeah.
because we like talking to each other about this.
Hmm.
There are the other people who put a couple hours in the evening for it, hoping that they'll probably get better. There are people who are doing this to supplement some income because, yeah, you know what? Let's be honest. This is probably funner gig work than driving.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. If
Mm-hmm.
if if I could get paid to do this
Yeah.
and not have to be good at Left 4 Dead or fucking Deathloop or fucking whatever,
Mm.
I would do it. And don't get me wrong, uh like having marketing yourself as a brand would be taxing, and that has its own like problems and so on and so forth, but I'd do
Mm-hmm.
that. I'd do it. It would still be taxing. It'd still have a toxic
Right.
like thing on me, but I would do it. But how many people now are streaming, and how many of them are actually like making a living? Or no. How many of them are making
Ends meet.
a decent amount of money
it's
off of doing this? And how
it's
much time and
it's
effort are they doing?
yeah, it's a small percentage. A
Yeah.
very We discussed it before. It's a very small percentage that um people who are making a quote unquote livable wage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um so it's crazy to think about, but you're right. I think I can be in the same boat. If I can sit here, do this podcast, um, do our streams, edit videos and
Mhm.
even make a livable wage, not make like hella money like some YouTubers or some streamers, right? Like just make a livable wage. I'd go for it. Yeah, I'd
Don't
be
get me
down
wrong.
for it.
I wouldn't this wouldn't be a passion. That's the thing,
Right.
but it's like, uh, you know, the that's where I was going with. Those
Mm.
those other hundreds of thousands of people, just like an Uber driver, don't have representation, don't have that like entourage of people who craft and maintain the brand.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. But yeah, like I would prefer something like this to working in an office 9 to 5. If I could do if I could do 4 days and 6 straight hours of this, I would do it.
Mm.
Pick my own hours, like wake up any fucking time I wanted and do it. Fuck yeah, I'd do it. I could break and like do 2 3 hour sessions. Fuck yeah. That's the
Yeah.
thing. But I don't think that's necessarily the answer. Um
Right.
because I think the issue isn't the fact that people want to work something like Twitch. I think it's just an issue with labor now, where it's like the 40-hour work week is pretty fucking stuffy and stifling.
Yeah.
Um, your business is like it's like what I was talking about. I would rather do this than work in an office. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, that's not because Twitch has a better model. That's because people hate the current labor situations that they're currently in.
Yeah.
Right? There's a whole like there's a whole pandemic going on that's helping people realize that the quality of their labor is worth more than it should be
Mm-hmm.
at the current moment. And the prospect of working somewhere that provides you easy easy quote unquote easy
Right.
money
Right.
like Twitch is more appealing. It's not that it's better, and it's not that it actually is more appealing. It's that it appears more appealing based on how shitty job and labor uh fucking bullshit is right now. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Anyway, um yeah. Did you want to keep going, or did you want to fuck, I hate wanting to fucking push the NFT shit, but did you want to do the NFT shit next week?
Yeah. No,
Fuck, okay.
I enjoyed our conversation today. This was fucking shit. I mean, this shit. This was the
Dude,
shit.
fuck yeah. Yeah, this was shit.
This is
I
literal
fucking love
shit.
this. God fucking bullshit. Fucking fuck you, Harry.
Oh my
You hate it
god.
so bad you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that was just rolled off the tongue.
Oh, speaking of
Hmm.
labor, by the way, I will close with one thing, and then
Yes.
you can close with something else if you want. But um, I frequent the subreddit or the Reddit page anti-work,
Hmm.
and it began. I don't fucking know, but it's typally a subreddit for, if I'm saying that right, subreddit or a Reddit
Hmm.
page, um, of people who are essentially dissatisfied with toxic work environment and so on and so forth. And
Yeah.
they'll post like um, uh, texts from their shitty boss or stories about things their shitty bosses did to them, or how their shitty work environment or work culture uh, is.
Hmm.
And they've been gaining a lot of steam, or they had gained a lot of steam. Probably
Oh.
not much longer because of something that happened, but it drew the ire of Fox News. And if anyone's
Oh.
interested, you can look this up. This is, I know I recommend a lot of fucking videos, and I say they're long. This one's pretty short. Um, look up, look up anti-work in Fox News,
Okay.
because the community as a whole didn't seem to really want to be represented. And then one of the mods for this subreddit actually did an interview
Oh.
on Fox News.
Interesting.
And oh god.
That's your response.
Uh
Okay.
let's just say it was a optics minefield. No,
Oh.
no. It was oh god. You know that joke where in Simpsons that person like just takes a step and they like get hit in the face with a shovel, and they take another step and they keep getting hit in the face with a shovel every time they take a step. It's kind of like
Yes.
that.
Ooh.
Walking, well, pull optics minefield implied that they could have taken one step and gone in the right direction, but the mod who decided to speak for the entire subreddit, which I don't really think made a lot of sense, um, let's just say was not the best choice,
Mm.
and represented uh, a broad group of people with a relatively singular opinion of work very negatively. So
Okay.
that was funny. What followed was um, the person being rated, I believe the term is on Reddit, and essentially nuking anti-work. And yeah, it's been offline for a couple, I think 24 hours now. I don't know
Oh.
if it's back on, but yeah, fun stuff. Um, the one I'll have like Dishonored, Deathloop, and like praise shit for my subreddits, and
Yeah.
then anti-work, and now I just get a bunch of like generic, like ask ask Reddit this. So yeah, fun little bit of internet um ecosystem bullshit happening. So that's all.
Mm. Okay.
Harry, anything?
No. I will end the night by saying, this weekend, I'm gonna try to avoid the 49ers game. Not because I'm a huge Niner fan. I stopped watching sports because my body literally. I was telling Livy, um, this past weekend during the Niner game, I was literally sick to my stomach because it was just one of those, really close games. I told this is why I stopped watching sports because my body literally goes in stress mode. Like I can't. It's just what happens, right? Like my body gets into stress mode because I know like there's no physical way for me to help this team win the game, but I really want them to win the game. So that's why I stopped watching all sports. I'm a huge Sharks fan for hockey. I stopped watching their games. I was into basketball with the San Antonio Spurs. I stopped watching that for multiple reasons, but I just stopped watching sports, right? But the 49ers and football were like my main thing. I stopped. I'll tell you this, it's really hard to for me not to be like, looking at my phone, looking at scores, looking at things, and it's hard for me even when I did stop, right? Um and it's even harder when my team's actually doing well. you know um
They're gonna get you eventually, pal.
um so I got into the Niners at the late 90s, so they're doing good, right? They're still, they had good players, and they were going to playoffs and stuff. But then it got to like 2002 or so, when hell, like, oh, hell, just shit hit the fan. Every good player left, all the coaches left, and the Niners went 2-14. Uh, and basically never had a 500 record,
So close, so far.
until like 2011 or 2012 or something like that. But I was a fan that entire time. I would watch them lose. I would watch them win sometimes, but I was a die-hard Niner fan. And so when they finally start doing well, you know,
They
um,
make you nervous.
yeah, like I'm not used to it. Um, and especially now that I'm trying to, like, I told myself I'm not going to watch sports. It's not good for my body. It's not good for your body to be in constant stress, especially when you're just sitting there knowing that you can't do anything about it. Um, so I'm going to try really hard not to watch the game, not to be staring at my phone looking at the score. I'm going to try to just go out and just distract myself. And then I'm going to find out if they win or lose. And whether they win or lose, I'm gonna be proud of them, um, and I'm gonna not be stressed. Um, and that's my goal. That's my goal for this weekend.
Harry,
And
I'm
we'll
proud of
see.
you.
Thank you. But we'll see, right? I mean, I might
The
get
amount of
distracted.
self-restraint.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. I wish I was as strong a man as you were.
No, it's
Little
just. But that's gonna be this weekend. I'm gonna find out if the 49ers are gonna be going to a Super Bowl within 3 years. Um, or they're going to they would be going to their second Super Bowl within 3 years.
oh, the doubt in his voice.
Um, or they lose, and that's that, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. Uh, there's nothing I can do for my team. I can cheer them on through a fucking TV, but that still stresses the shit out of me. So, oh, that's all I
Harry,
have to say. Yeah,
I believe in you. Okay,
you believe in me. Yeah, well,
I believe.
I don't.
I believe in you for your team.
Thank you. But yeah, that's it, man.
Oh, Harry,
Mm,
you beautiful man, you. I'll wish your 49ers some good luck,
thank you.
but I, I don't know. Maybe I'll go on and wish the NBA the best.
Yeah.
That's the kind of friend I am. I would go to the home of the NBA and tell them to, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, you can count on me. Those well wishes will get straight to them.
Thank you.
Folks, we love talking, if you haven't noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you love listening, you can hear us at YouTube with Hitting the Mark and Harry and Mark. We have our entire back catalog of videos from the last year
Woo.
of fucking cod pasting. Okay? Okay? Yeah. From our tender years to our intermittent now recently when we came into our own, really found our voice about 2 episodes ago. um, if you would like to give us any input, anything along those lines, you can hit us up on our email, hittingthemark2020@gmail.com. Or if you like to keep up to date with any of our twats, is that it? Twats?
Yep.
Twats? You can check our Twitter at capital H, capital T, capital M underscore podcast. Once again, HTM underscore podcast. Folks, as I said before, we like chatting and we like it when no one listens. So listen, but don't tell anyone